Amy, I love your comment, but I swear to you, this nightmare never ends. Let me explain. First, just so everybody knows, Amy and I know each other from being in this group together, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. This was an indie film that Joe Cross did where he went on his 60-day juicing fast. And he met this man, Phil, and they lost weight together. It's a really great movie. Amy remembers when I went to Kansas City and I got to meet Joe Cross. That's he and I right there. And there's a reason for it. Upshoot was a juicing powdered drink. And why would I be interested in a juicing powdered drink? Because I'm all about the space program. Because I'm all about the space program. And the space program used to promote Tang. See? Right here. Tang actually has been in outer space. And I went to meet Joe Cross because I was hoping that his upshoot could also go to space. But unfortunately, my life is very ugly in certain parts, and I get harassed wherever I go. I used to make videos online with the Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead community and got a lot of harassment. I had no interest in Joe Cross other than I wanted him to make the new space drink. And if you've seen the movie, you know that Phil is from Iowa. I studied broadcast journalism in the same town that Phil is from. This is my company, Matchmaker Movies. I've been a matchmaker for 3 decades. Back in 1998, I made my own pilot for a TV show that was supposed to be on CW 26, but that's a whole nother story that I'll get into. If you remember, I told you about Mike Adamle. He was a sportscaster on Channel 7. Here he is with Tim Waggle. They did the sports together on ABC News. This is Tim Waggle's son, Rafer Waggle, and he used to be on the AB7 News sports team as well. But this is how Chicago is run. This is very real. And as much as I've been threatened with bodily harm and being gang stalked, this is what they threatened to do. Send Joe Cross humiliating videos of me. A lot of people have a crush on Joe Cross, but I seriously only wanted to meet him so he could help me produce the next Tang. Again, you need to remember, I used to talk to Mike Adamle from this very television station, but what I'm about to tell you next will seem very hard to believe, but it's true. Back in 2004, during the election, I went to Iowa Lakes Community College. I was studying broadcast journalism. Back in 2022, I was watching the news, and the woman that got this man fired, Mark Giangreco, was on the news, and she showed some pictures.
Before we finally fall into our forever career, Cheryl shares this truth.
Do you remember the Dick Cheney incident when he shot a man in the face going on a quail hunt? The man that I met from the Air Force Academy was very handsome. He looked like Val Kilmer. I can't show you a picture of him because his face was blown off. The man that I'm talking about was handsome, very handsome. As a matter of fact, one of my friends that met him had a crush on him. This is his IBMD. He does part-time acting. Back in 1991, my friend that had the crush and I went to London to see him. That's where they had him stationed. And it was in the Kensington Hilton that I almost got kidnapped by 3 Iranian men. 3 Iranian men that were determined to take me back to Iran that night. That's a completely another story. Instead of getting shot in the face, I was told that they threw acid in his face. If you think that I haven't been mentally terrorized, that everywhere I go, not only do I fear for myself, but I fear for other people, you have no idea what my life is like. I really don't think that he'll take my story. People make jokes about wearing a tinfoil hat, but I swear to God, this is what my tinfoil hat would look like. This has not been fun by any means. When it was on the 10 o'clock news, I waited for the rebroadcast at 1 o'clock in the morning because, just like this, I was hoping to get proof. They had taken it completely off the air. I wasn't able to get proof of the picture that they showed because they showed a completely different broadcast. That's what I was referring to when I talked about Jussie Smollett. Believe me, they've sent the most humiliating pictures you can imagine to people, but I'm still going to tell my story. Just so you know, sometimes you have to get through the nightmare to keep dreaming.